Do you feel like you're facing difficult decisions or with a restless heart? This video is an invitation to find peace again, restore trust, and learn to surrender control when everything seems out of place. A deep prayer, words of encouragement, and a new way of looking to tomorrow. Discover how to transform your choices, overcome the fear of the uncertain, and strengthen bonds with those who really matter. Share your experience in the comments, ask for prayer, and be part of a community that supports, listens, and grows together. Your participation helps spread hope and comfort to those who need it most. Subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to receive messages of faith and inspiration, and share this video with those who face challenges. Together, we can be light on the path of many. When the dawn dawns and the sky is filled with promises, each person receives, without his or her own merit, the blessing of starting over. The awakening of a new cycle brings, in its morning silence, the invitation to abandon haste, recognize one's own limitations, and direct the heart to the search for answers that only supreme wisdom can grant. There is no true achievement when one relies only on the strength of one's own arms. There is no lasting peace for those who insist on tracing the script of existence alone. Inspired by the ancient admonition of the Book of Prophets, I know, Lord, that it is not in man's hands to determine his own route, nor is it up to the traveler to control his own destination. Many of us have learned to value humility and self-giving. We are not gods of ourselves. Every time we try to master tomorrow, draw maps without consulting the source, we fall into dead ends and face tiring journeys that could be light. It is natural to seek control. The impulse to decide, plan, and act sometimes speaks louder than the wisdom to wait, reflect, and trust. Human responses are limited, subject to doubt and error. Restlessness arises at the crossroads of life, to change direction or to stay, acting on impulse or cultivating patience. In the midst of these dilemmas, only the direction of something higher brings meaning and serenity. So today, as you begin this new chapter, I invite you to slow down your breathing, quiet your thoughts, and make room for a real surrendering experience. There is no need for great formulas. All you need is sincerity, willingness to listen, and courage to admit that on our own, we are not able to foresee each step. This journey of surrender is a journey inward and beyond, where pride gives way to humility and anxiety turns into confident expectation. It is not weakness to recognize one's own insufficiency. It is a rare force, rare as water in arid soil, to admit that we need direction, higher advice, a look that sees where the eyes cannot reach. In the stillness of the heart, the following prayer is born. God of all ages and all beginnings, before your mystery I place myself, recognizing my total dependence. So many times I have tried to write my own story based on passing opinions, volatile emotions, and circumstances that change like the wind. Now I just ask, take my steps and remake my plans. Teach me to value silence, to recognize the time of waiting, and to listen to that inner voice that never deceives. Help me to discern, even in the small details of everyday life, what should be done and what should be left. Free me from embarking on projects that do not have your mark, from insisting on paths that, although seductive, divert my focus from what is essential. If something is not in your will, let it be stopped before it starts. If any plan does not honor your purpose, let it disappear from the horizon. And if a dream is indeed part of your intention, grant clarity and confidence to follow it without fear, even when everything around you seems otherwise. May I learn to accept your yes with gratitude and your no with maturity. It gives me courage to wait for the right time, even when silence seems heavy, and wisdom to distinguish haste from perseverance. A step by your side is better than 1,000 in the opposite direction. In moments when anxiety tries to hasten my actions, it reminds me that true security is not in controlling, but in trusting. May my will be trained in the discipline of obedience, able to say, I am ready to be guided, corrected, and taught, for walking with you is infinitely better than walking alone. Just as the caretaker of sheep leads the flock through safe pastures, even when shadows cover the way, may your presence be for me a shelter and compass. May I look back, see signs of your care, and look forward, see possibilities guided by your hand. Grant discernment to perceive your voice in the simplest details, in daily encounters, in unexpected challenges. Take away from me the desire to solve everything by myself and plant in its place the serenity of depending on your guidance at every step. May I be, above all, someone recognized not for human successes, but for the trust that reflects your conduct. May others see in my way of life the mark of someone who walks by faith and not by mere logic or fear. The recognition of one's own limitation opens the way for profound experiences of transformation. How many times, driven by pride or fear of making mistakes, do we insist on hasty decisions, consult shallow advice, or follow only the impulses of the heart? And how many of these choices have brought with them the weight of frustration, regret, or loneliness? On this morning of restarting, I pause to reevaluate recent decisions, the small stubbornness of everyday life, and the haste that replaced reflection. I recognize that so many times I tried to maintain control for fear of losing, for insecurity in the face of the unknown, for not being able to stand the silence of waiting. How many anxiety-driven choices have taken me away from what really matters? There is strength in admitting, I no longer have to carry alone the weight of every mistake, of every frustrated expectation, of every path trodden without consultation. When humility meets repentance, the possibility of a new beginning is born. Therefore, I allow myself to look back only to learn, not to condemn. At this moment, I raise a supplication. O source of renewal, before you, I confess my frustrated attempts to live on my own. Forgive every act of self-reliance, every rash decision, every time I have sought quick answers and ignored the signs of your presence. It clears my mind of restlessness and the desire to dominate what is not under my control. May your forgiveness be like a renewing bath, erasing the marks of the past and rekindling the flame of hope. Teach me to trust in the process of transformation, that every fall brings with it learning, that every mistake is a stepping stone to greater understanding, and that all guilt is replaced by peace. I gratefully receive your grace and rest in the certainty that I am not defined by what I have done, but by what I become by allowing you to drive. May your patience with me inspire me to be patient with others as well, to forgive as I have been forgiven, to start anew whenever necessary. I now hand over all the burdens that weighed on my shoulders, the unresolved doubts, the hidden insecurities, the poorly made choices, and the paths of no return. May you accept each confession and give me back the lightness of one who knows that he is safe, not by his own strength, but by infinite mercy. I also cry out for everyone who shares this journey of search, family, friends, colleagues, each person who, like me, needs a fresh start. May your direction reach not only my life, but every home, every relationship, every work environment. Let there be reconciliation where there is distance, healing where there is hurt, and understanding where confusion reigns. It restores bonds, renews dialogue, and makes hope sprout in tired hearts. May no one remain tied to the bonds of the past, but may each one feel the invitation to freedom of those who accept to be guided, no longer by anxiety, but by purpose. As you walk the uncertain paths of this world, may peace not be the absence of trouble, but the assurance of companionship. Even in the midst of challenges, may the inner light not be extinguished. Each morning remind me that true safety is not in anticipating every outcome, but in trusting that in whatever direction, your presence is already there, waiting to guide, comfort, and restore. Life, in its complexity, constantly challenges us to make decisions. Some face huge forks such as moving to another city, changing professions, or starting new relationships. Others live the silent challenges of daily choices, small but cumulative, which draw entire trajectories. In any circumstance, the doubt about which path to follow is the starting point for a deeper search for meaning and direction. Therefore now, I turn my gaze inward and upwards, wishing for wisdom so that no choice is made just out of haste, social pressure, or fear of missing opportunities. May each step be based on serenity, thoughtfulness, and sensitivity to capture the signs of a greater purpose. On the days when doors open, it gives discernment to perceive whether they are invitations to growth or distractions disguised as chance. And when doors close, may I not only see an obstacle, but a necessary redirection to avoid paths that would not bear fruit. Teach me to respect the timing of things. There are times to move forward boldly, and there are times when waiting is the greatest act of courage. May I not rush or paralyze, but find the balance to act at the right pace, aligned with wisdom that goes beyond immediate understanding. When the heart oscillates between trust and fear, remind me that the light of the path does not depend on the surrounding scenery, but on the inner source of hope. May I know how to distinguish the voice of anxiety from the voice of conscience, so as never to exchange what is eternal for what is urgent. And if by chance I stumble in my decisions, may the return not be of shame but of humility and learning. May repentance not paralyze but empower the new beginning. I also pray for all those who share this trail with me, family, friends, fellow travelers. May you be a compass and encouragement in times of weariness, reconciliation in conflicts, and hope when all seems lost. May we be for others instruments of encouragement, inspiration, and welcome, not only in words, but in practical gestures of love. May every environment, be it home, work, or community, be transformed by the presence of serenity, justice, and empathy. If there is discord, let reconciliation be possible. If there is fear, may courage win. If there is loneliness, may friendship flourish. I pray for healing also for invisible pains, old hurts, traumas not overcome, insecurities kept deep in the soul. May your presence be balm to the wounds, bringing restoration and renewing the willingness to love, trust, and start anew. And for those who go through emotional storms, such as anxiety, depression, or a feeling of abandonment, never lose the certainty that, above the clouds, the sun has never stopped shining. May each day be a chance to take a deep breath, align thoughts, and believe that new beginnings are always possible for those who allow themselves to be guided. Among the many areas that challenge our confidence, issues related to work, finances, and personal dreams often reveal how much we need direction in order not to get lost in the midst of worries and expectations. I recognize that without clear guidance, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison, fear of scarcity, or anxiety about immediate results. Therefore, today I also entrust these aspects to the care of a greater wisdom, accepting that there is no merit in trying to conduct everything alone. I ask for discernment to act responsibly in everything that has been entrusted to me, that each resource is used with balance, each opportunity evaluated without impulsiveness, and that each decision is made with a long-term vision, and not just to satisfy momentary desires. When it is time to save, let me be prudent. When it is time to invest, let courage be an ally of wisdom. Let no step be guided by the fear of loss or the desire for vainglory, but rather by the search for stability and purpose. I cry out for protection in the face of the difficulties that financial life can impose. If there are debts, let liberation come. If there is a lack of opportunities, let doors be opened. If the work environment is oppressive or frustrating, let alternative paths emerge. Healthier, dignified environments that provide integral growth. May every effort find a just reward, and may the dignity of the work never be lost sight of. For those who today face the challenge of unemployment, I ask not only for relocation, but also for the strengthening of hope. May waiting not be a reason for discouragement, but for learning and preparation. It opens up new possibilities, showcases hidden talents, develops skills, and connects the right people at opportune times. May each professional journey be seen as a mission, and not just as a source of income, a space to serve, learn, and contribute to a better world. I also remember those who undertake, lead teams, take risks in their own businesses, or nurture projects that they want to prosper. May creativity be inspired by ethical values, and growth be accompanied by generosity, that no goal exceeds the limits of respect for others, honesty, and collective positive impact. I ask for the courage to start over, humility to ask for help, discipline to continue learning, and faith to trust in the right timing of things. May true prosperity never be confused with mere accumulation, but be translated into balance, contentment, and the ability to share. And while I fight for my achievements, may I never lose sight of the value of generosity. Teach me to share not only what is left, but also what makes a difference in the lives of those who need it most. May each small act of solidarity be like a seed, capable of transforming realities and restoring dignity to those who have lost hope. At the end of each day, may the recognition for what has been received prevail over the desire for what is still missing. Teach me to be grateful not only for the great victories, but for the daily details, for the preserved health, for the food on the table, for the safe shelter, and for the opportunities that often go unnoticed. May contentment be a constant companion, remembering that for those who walk guided, even small achievements gain eternal meaning. May the heart never be hardened with prosperity, nor lost in the storms of scarcity, but remain firm in the assurance that there is always a greater purpose to be revealed. And as I continue the journey, allow me to live with gratitude and simplicity, with eyes attentive to others, and an open mind to learn from each step. May tomorrow always be awaited with renewed hope, and may the past, however difficult it may have been, not prevent the flowering of new dreams. As I conclude this cycle of delivery and trust, I recognize that the journey only makes sense when it is not trodden alone. Therefore, I join my voice to that of so many others who at this very moment are also looking for answers, new beginnings, and direction. No sincere prayer is ignored. No pain is despised. No cry for help is left unheard by the one who understands everything in depth. I renew the certainty that it is not weakness to admit dependence, but rather a sign of maturity and courage. Moving forward does not mean never stumbling. It means above all knowing who to turn to on days of falling and tiredness. Every experience lived, every obstacle overcome, every tear or smile, everything takes on new meaning when we look beyond the circumstances and trust in a care that transcends understanding. Therefore, at the end of this prayer, I ask for serenity to accept what I cannot control, strength to change what is within my reach, and wisdom to distinguish one thing from another. May fear not be counseling. May discouragement find no shelter. May hope be a constant light even in the longest nights. May each person who participates in this moment feel enveloped by an invisible embrace of welcome and peace. May restlessness give way to the certainty that no one walks helpless, no one faces struggles in vain, and that every weight, no matter how difficult, has its time to respond and mature. I challenge each one who receives this message not to keep to themselves what was a reason for consolation, inspiration, or transformation. Share hope, distribute words of encouragement, offer shoulders, and listen to those in need. A simple attitude can change someone's destiny, rekindling dreams, raising fallen people, and strengthening bonds. No one is alone. We are all part of a community that learns, starts over, and grows together. Keep alive the willingness to continue learning and to seek direction at each new dawn. Do not allow pride or haste to stifle the sensitivity to perceive the signs of the right path. Whenever doubt arises, remember that even if you don't see the end of the road, every step you take with confidence will be sustained. At the end of this journey, I reaffirm my confidence in the greater purpose, believing that every story, no matter how marked by challenges, can be resignified. May each decision, each new beginning, each small gesture of faith be multiplied in fruits of joy, peace, and inner growth. And so, may the peace that exceeds understanding envelop each heart, renewing strength and opening doors to new beginnings. May no one leave this meeting in the same way they arrived, but take with them the certainty that it is possible to live guided, protected, and driven by a purpose that goes far beyond what is seen. If this word has reached your heart, don't hesitate to share your experience, your prayer request, or your thanks. Together we continue to strengthen bonds of faith, hope, and solidarity. May new cycles open, and may the meaning of the journey always be in looking upwards, without losing sight of who is next to us. Receive, today and always, the sincere desire for a life guided by trust, serenity, and purpose, because no one needs to face the journey alone, and every new beginning is possible for those who decide to trust and walk once again. Subscribe, like, and share. Write Amen in the comments if you want to live guided by a higher purpose. Leave your prayer request. Here you will never be alone.